Right, welcome back to the channel everyone, welcome back to another video. Carrying on with the saga of the Mondeo from the last video that I uploaded. If you haven't watched the video, I tried to fix the window mechanism on my Mondeo on the driver's side front. Everything went so well up until the point where I tested the mechanism, and for some reason the cable decided that it wanted to jump out of the mechanism, and it all sort of went downhill from there. So what I decided to do after that is I jumped online, I found myself a second-hand but genuine Ford mechanism for the driver's side front door, and picked that up off eBay. I paid £25 and that was delivered, so it's 20 quid for the mechanism, £5 delivery, and hopefully today we're going to fit it to the car. I ordered it Friday and it's come today, Monday morning, and it didn't come a minute too soon either. I've been driving around without a door card and without a working window on my driver's side, and it's driving me crazy because I like to have my windows open when I drive, and obviously at the minute I haven't been able to. So let's go ahead and get this thing fitted to the car so that I can once again have a working window. Right, so I'll just give you a closer look at this mechanism just so you can sort of see what this one looks like. It looks in pretty decent condition. The cables look original, I think. They've still got the original grease on the springs and stuff as well, which is quite useful. This seems to have been off a car that had its window broken, because in there, I don't know if you can see that, this is where it holds the window. There's actually shards of glass still in there, so this car must have been in a crash or something like that. But anyway, regardless of that, everything seems to be okay, nothing's bent, everything is in the right place. The cable looks decent, it's not rusty. There is still reminiscences of grease everywhere, so that's good. I will add a little bit more grease to it before I install it in the car, but so far so good. Everything looks okay. Even the cable down here, this is where it snapped on my one, but the cable there even looks pretty decent. The only thing it didn't come with was the bolts, but I've just taken the bolts from my other mechanism and we'll use those ones. There's 5 right there. Like I said, I'm going to add a little bit more grease to these wires, just so that when the wire runs through, hopefully it'll stop it from rusting a little bit. I'll add a little bit of grease all the way around, all the naked wires that I can see. I'll just stick a glove on and put grease all on them, just so that they run nice and smooth. Like I showed you in the last video, I didn't go ahead and put the door card and stuff back together. I just kind of left it as it is, stuck a chunk of wood in there to hold the window up, and that's kind of how I left it. So it should be quite an easy job. All I've got to do is take the piece of wood out, stick this mechanism in, bolt it up, put the window back in it, and we should be good to go. So let's get the Mondeo put back together. Oh, I cannot wait to get this all back together. I've been driving this car like this and it's such an eyesore, and that looks absolutely horrible. So, right, so I don't know how well you can actually see, but I have greased up the cable all the way down there. I put grease in where those springs are. I also put it all around the wheels on each corner and all on that cable up there. So the cable should be nice and greased up now. There's not really much more I can do with it than that. Hopefully the grease will stop any water ingress and stop this one from rusting out like the old one did. That's the plan anyway. Right, this thing's ready to go back in. The bolts that hold it in, little Torx, they have got a little bit of Loctite on them. Don't know if you can see that. They all came out with a little bit of blue on them. So I'm going to be replacing that. I've got some thread lock right here, so I'll stick a little bit of that on, stick the bolts back in, we'll get it all tightened back up. But first, this wood's got to come out. I forgot to take the electrical connector off. The one that they supplied, obviously they just snip it off at the breaker's yard like that, and I forgot to take it off. I need to put this one on, and it's really hard to get to now it's bolted on. That's a pain. Right, so I managed to get the old plug off somehow, just gave it a little wiggle, and I've plugged the new one on. So what I'm going to do is what I did last time. I'm going to plug the door card back in so I can use the window switch, and we'll give it a test. Although I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous about testing it, because this is the point. Well, I had it all back together last time with the new cables and stuff. This is the point where I decided to go wrong last time, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen again, but the only way we're going to find out is if we try it. So See what happens. The door card is in the boot still. Got the speaker there as well. And then I've put all the screws and stuff in here, all the bolts, just to keep them safe. But this is what we need right now. Just plug her in. Right, I'm going to press up on the switch because at the minute the window things, these are the bits that hold the window right there, they're actually at the bottom. So I'm going to press up and hopefully we have a working motor and the wires don't fling out and go everywhere like they did before. Yes. So far so good. Yes, I think we're good. Sounds pretty healthy. Right, I'm going to put it up there somewhere and we'll bring the glass down now. And the glass is just literally hanging there by itself. We'll bring the glass down, slot it into its little places, put the bolts in, and then we'll try it with the glass mounted as well. So I want to try not to break the glass. Just going to bring it down. I just need to try and seat it in those clamps. I don't know how far down it needs to go. So the glass is now sitting where I think it should. Got 2 bolts put on there to clamp it down, and then I think we're all good. As long as the glass is straight, which I think it is. Okay, so we've got the bolts tightened down on the clamps, so let's give it a test with the window in place, just see what happens. Yep. So that made a noise. I don't know what that was, but it works. All the way down, all the way up, nice and smooth, just as it should. Oh, it's come down on its own, didn't even touch it. My hand is right here. I don't know what happened there. I think it needs to learn where the top is. Right, so as you can see, the window now works, the motor now works, and everything seems to be a-okay. It's now time to put everything back together. Ideally, what I would like, I don't know if you could even buy them, I haven't really looked. Ideally, what I would like is like a new one of these foam, I don't even know what you call them, door card protectors or whatever they are. I'd really like to get a new one of these because this one is completely destroyed. It's like ripped in every single place you could imagine. But I haven't got one right now, and I want to get all this back together now. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm literally just going to use, shout out to my dad again, I'm just going to use a little bit of this duct tape and just tape up along the lines where it's ripped, at least for now, as like a temporary measure, and then maybe I'll look to get like a new one. I could just pull the door card off again because it doesn't take long. So I'm going to tape up as much as I can, get it looking somewhat presentable, and then I've got to put the speaker back on, and then the door card can go back on last. Well, it's not particularly pretty, but it will do the job. It will work for now. Like I said, I'll try and source another one at some point. This one was just way too destroyed to save really, but it looks okay. I just need to stick the speaker back in now. I don't want to forget to plug it in as well though. So someone in the comments on my last video said that apparently it's strange to have these like 6x9 style speakers from the factory. But I assumed that all Mondeo STs came with these. I don't really know. The whole kind of is there for a 6x9. As you can see, it's that shape. So I assume that this is like a factory thing. Let me know down in the comments if it's not. I'll show you what it says on the back. There you go. It says Ford Motor Company, so you'd think that that is just a standard ST speaker. It might even be a standard Mondeo speaker. Right, I think that's it. I think we're finally ready to get the door card back on. I'm just double checking everything. This is all tight, the speaker's on. I've put as much duct tape on it as I'm going to for now. That bracket I nearly forgot, but I just saw it, so I put that on. Everything's clipped up, all the wiring looks good. I'm happy to get this door card put back on. Ta-da! The door card is all now back on now. You don't know how happy I am to get that back on. It's such an eyesore not having it on there. So, now that we've got it all back together, I guess the best thing to do is to test things. So we'll just check the window one more time, just to make sure it actually goes up and down. All the way down, all the way up. Feels really smooth, no noises, no weird stuff like that. That's great. Next, speaker. I haven't actually checked this yet. Probably should have done it whilst the door card was off, but yeah, that's all you're getting. No copyright. Speaker works. I guess all the other windows work. Yeah, that one's alright. Rear one. Yep. And this rear one. Yeah, all good. That is everything functioning as it should. All the screws are in. I've put every single screw in. I even added, I don't know if you can see them, I even added 2 on the bottom, which I forgot last time. So every single screw is back in the door. I am very happy with that result. I'm glad to have my car all back together. I didn't like driving it when it was all apart. Yeah, success in the end. Now, whilst I'm also out here, there's a couple of other things that I just want to quickly sort. Shouldn't take a minute. This chrome trim on the door, I don't know if you can see that, but it's been loose for ages. It's connected this end and it's connected the other end, but in the middle, when you push it down, it just doesn't want to like stay down. You can see how loose that is. It just like pops up so easily when I'm driving. If I go over a speed bump, it just goes boop, pops out, and it's really annoying because it just sits there and springs away. So I want to find a way, maybe a bit of glue or a bit of tiger seal or something like that. I want to find a way that I can get that to stay down so that it doesn't keep popping out like that. Maybe a bit of double-sided tape even. I don't know. I'm going to try and find something in my shed that I can stick that down with. The other thing, really quick thing, is, I don't know if you noticed, but I've taken my bottom grill out on the car so that the intercooler shows. Let me see that, there you go. The blue intercooler pipes that go to the intercooler are god-awfully dirty, and so I'm just going to give them a quick clean just so that they show a bit better. When you see it from the front, you'll actually be able to see the pipes with any luck. I'm also at some point going to grind these little tabs off the bumper as well, because they sort of look a little bit ugly as well. So I just found this stuff in my shed, Gorilla Grab Adhesive. Right, so there we have it. I stood there holding it for a good few minutes. It doesn't seem to have moved at all since I took my hand off. So I'm going to close this gently and leave that now for a bit, and that should dry. I wiped off all the excess as well. As you can see, there's no white showing on that. I gave it a good wipe down, but hopefully that will hold it down. I made sure I put it where the little clips are. There's like little tabs that point down, and I made sure that I put the glue where those tabs are, so that the tabs actually get glued into the rubber themselves. The rest of them seem to be alright though. There's nothing wrong with the other ones. I would argue that they look way better, and actually really blue. I didn't realise how blue they were. I really need to do an oil change on this thing soon. I'm also just going to quickly check, because I was told that this car's got a panel filter in here, K&M one, but I've never actually checked. So I'm actually going to quickly check that and see if I can get a kit to clean it. It's probably never been cleaned in its life. Yeah, well, they didn't lie about that. I don't know if it's a K&N or not. I don't know where it says. Oh, it is a K&N. There you go. It's probably quite dirty though. I'll probably get a kit to clean this with at some point. There's not much stuff in it, but there's probably gunk and whatnot. I don't know what colour it's supposed to be. I guess it's meant to be black. Huh, who knew? So I almost forgot, there is one last thing that I wanted to check. I've noticed recently when driving this car that I can hear like a small hissing sound coming from the boost gauge, which to me sounds like a boost leak from the boost gauge, where I've connected the pipe up to the boost gauge itself. Maybe the cable ties come off, or maybe the pipe's slipped off a little bit. I'm not entirely sure, so I'm just going to pop it out real quick and just double check everything. Maybe put another cable tie on it just to seal it up a little bit. I think if I remember correctly, the hose that I put on it was actually a little bit too big for the fitting on the boost gauge anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was leaking a little bit, but I want to sort that out because I don't really want any boost leaks, especially not in the cabin of the car as well. I had this out not long ago as well when I was putting masking tape around it, so I might have dislodged something maybe. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to film this, but the hose itself is like a little bit too big really. I need a smaller hose. The inner diameter of the hose fits a bit too easily onto that. You want a bit more of a snug fit than that really. It goes in way too easy. That's why I put a cable tie on it. I thought that would sort it, but I need like an adapter and then a smaller pipe to fit onto it. Right, so this is the plan of action. I've got some general purpose silicone, black stuff. I'm going to put like a small smear around where the tube goes onto the back of the boost gauge, and then I've got two cable ties, like a small one and a big one. I'm going to tie them around and hope that that seals it enough. I'm going to shop online for an adapter to make the inner diameter of the pipe smaller, so that it fits like really snugly onto the boost gauge. This should fix it for the time being anyway, just like a quick fix. Well, that was supposed to be a small smear, but do things ever go to plan? No. I'm just going to squeeze the pipe on. Just need the cable ties now. Right, boost gauge is all back together. I'm just going to let it dry and then I'll give it a test later and see if that's made any difference whatsoever. But for right now, I think that's about all I can do to the Mondeo today. The main objective obviously was to get the door back together and get the window actually working, which we have done. You would never know that's been apart. It's all fixed up. I'm very happy with that. The other little bits that I showed at the end of the video were just kind of things that popped in my head that I wanted to check. This car doesn't get that much love. I don't really check it over that often. I just kind of like drive it and that's kind of it. And so I figured I'd share it a little bit of love. I just want to say as well, I apologise if I've like sounded a bit off today and I've not been as energetic as normal. I don't know if you can hear, but I'm getting a cold and I feel pretty rough. So that's kind of the reason why today's been a bit but I want to get this done and I want to get the video done as well so that you guys have got something to watch anyway. Hopefully this will clear and I'll be alright for the rest of the week, and you will get the videos as scheduled as normal Wednesday and Friday as well. So that's it, that's all I've got for you. This wasn't a particularly long one and it wasn't a particularly exciting or entertaining one really, but it was a job that needed doing, and a load of you said that you wanted to see this job all the way to the end. A lot of you wanted to see it fixed and back together, so I wanted to provide you with that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Tip of the day is, if you're doing a window regulator, on most cars probably, if they're anything like this one, just buy the whole mechanism off eBay second hand. Make sure you buy from like a decent seller and you should be absolutely fine. I don't recommend buying the repair kit like I did. It's a lot more faff than it's worth. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of patience, and it just really isn't worth it for the price difference between the two. Just buy a mechanism, it works out a lot easier in the end. Question of the day that I want you guys to answer down in the comments down below is, in the Mondeo there's lots of trim pieces like this one here, all around the gear stick here, on the wheel, around here. It's kind of been, looks like it's been wrapped in carbon fibre, but I'm not entirely sure if they've been wrapped. Should I do them in something different? Because I'm a little bit bored of it, I'll be honest. It looks a little bit too plain in here. I do like minimalist, as you guys know, but the carbon fibre, I don't know, I just don't really like it that much. Should I put it silver? Should I make it ink blue, like the same colour as the actual car? Let me know down in the comments what you think I should do. I'm just a little bit bored of the trim. I also plan on getting a new stereo soon as well. So that's it, I'm going to stop talking now. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, it helps me out a lot. Thank you to everyone that has been buying stickers and stuff lately. They have been sent off, so you should get them very soon. It allows me to buy parts and do things for your guys' entertainment, so I appreciate every single one of you that buys something. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, it's just the Savage Garage. Make sure you like the video, subscribe for future content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.